everybody. um yeah, I am ill prepared for this. Um I've been working on something in the other room and I kind of forgot about streaming, but since I missed Tuesday, I want to make sure we get some kind of stream. So we're just gonna I'm just gonna draw. I'm just gonna draw. Maybe we'll do 3D modeling, maybe we'll just stick with drawing. I don't really know. I again, it just kind of snuck up on me as happens sometimes. And so I didn't have time to like set up any games or anything. But I hope this will still be sort of entertaining. Hey, hot dog, welcome. I guess let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, I just I was working on I was working on more leatherworking stuff, and I just kind of it just got past me, you know. I just kind of wasn't paying attention, and then suddenly 8 o'clock rolled around. And I'm like, oh shoot, what am I gonna do? I need to do a thing. Let's see. So I think what I'm gonna start with tonight is animation, actually. So to explain a little bit about what I was thinking of doing, I've been thinking about a sort of two things. For the first thing, also, let me turn on music so that it's not just me talking. Give me a sec. Music go, music go. Desktop audio. Okay. There should be music going. Hopefully, it's not overpowering. Let me know if it comes across as overpowering, because I don't want that. Yeah. So I've been thinking about sort of two things. The first one is that I want to do more like I've talked about this before, but I want to do more short form animations to get myself more comfortable with animating. And one way I was thinking of doing that would be maybe to do more animations that I can then use streaming. Just basically like I had this idea of sort of like, you know how nowadays I've got my my stream startup. I'm gonna make sure this is going. Yeah, it's working. My stream startup right now is that little sprite version of me like sleeping. I was thinking it'd be kind of cool if I had maybe like Mo and Maria like dancing around or something. That would be fun. And so I thought maybe I could do some little animations of just us dancing. In addition, I was thinking it might be cool to for like a merch idea to have a like a cup, like a glass that has like a film strip effect around it, and it has like frames of that animation. I think that would be kind of fun. So we'll start with that. So let's see. I need to get a color that is appropriate. Blue, because there was one time recently where I tried to do an animation and I didn't use like a different color for the roughs, and it was a mess. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna just start with that. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know what the stream's gonna be. It's just gonna be sort of something, and hopefully it's fun. Hopefully it will be fun. How y'all doing tonight? Hopefully your evening is more structured than mine has been thus far. Like I mean a large part of it is just that I was having fun working on that leatherworking stuff, because it's just so much fun. Lenticular photos, yeah. I don't know. I think it would be kind of a cool sort of thing, because like the website that I use, or I'll show y'all. The website that I use for my merchandise stuff has like a lot of different options for stuff you can make. Yeah, not a robot. Bleh. That off. Okay, so this is like the website that I use, which is a Spring, and I mean they do pretty good, so I'm happy with them. But like, if you want to make stuff, there's like all kinds of stuff you can make. There's like apparel, there's hats, digital home and decor, accessories, like all kinds of cool stuff. And like I like this idea of the like the pint glass because it's like a wraparound thing. You know, I've got the one mug, the only for tea mug. But I think it would be cool. Like I want to expand into having more things available because right now I pretty much only have like shirts. That's kind of boring. So yeah. Plus, again, it would be important for me to do more animation. Let's see, I gotta make sure her hair is being tracked as well. His hair is kind of a big part of it. There was a one of the other animators that I was working with on the collaboration project, which hopefully again will turn out well. I think the due date they moved the due date because of the hurricane. They wanted to make sure that people that were in the path of hurricane were okay, and so I think at this point it is the due date has arrived. But the short of it was, I've gained a lot of like insight from them about different things, and one of the useful insights I got was one person had like they had a bunch of like YouTube videos about what was the term, like animation techniques and stuff, and it was really helpful for me. And like one of the things they talked about, which was something I sort of needed to know more about, was like squish in terms of animation, like stretching and squishing and making things kind of like feel sort of rubbery. And like that's something I need to know. So I've been trying to add more like squish into things. Good. Up, up. I'm just gonna punch the other direction. Trying to do like keyframes here, which is something I'm not great at. Like there's a lot of stuff about animation that I just really don't like. I don't have the kind of background for it because everything I know about animation I just sort of pretty much learned on my own. You know, kind of like a self-taught animator, if that's a thing. So like there's a lot that I just don't know. There. And then she goes. Let's see, then back down. Maybe she should do that in the middle. So punch, squish, punch, squish, middle. Let's see. Yeah, how are y'all doing today? I feel like this is going to be a very boring stream of me attempting to animate something. But I want to make sure you got something, because like I felt bad that I didn't do anything on Tuesday. I pretty much just I had like a terrible headache on Tuesday, and I was like, I'm not going to be fun if I try to stream tonight, so I'm just gonna put it off for tonight. What is going on here? No, it's not that. What did I do? I did the wrong thing. Stop. Okay. That one. There we go. Yeah, how are things going in the Jimmy and the hot dog verse? It's been chill here, pretty much just playing Balatro all night. But okay, so I have heard of Balatro. What I hear of it as, it's a roguelike poker game. Is that correct? Is that what it's supposed to be? I know it involves cards, and I've heard that it's roguelike, which is, you know, the current hotness or whatever. And I'm curious, like, correct-ish? Okay. Correct me, like, explain what would be a more accurate way to describe it. Because, like, I actually have trouble kind of thinking of how you would make poker roguelike anyway. I guess you get, like, roguelike solitaire poker combo? But it's really fun, huh? Like, I mean, it seems like a lot of people are really into it. Like, what keeps you playing it, I guess, is, like what's got you really fascinated with it? Let's see here. This is probably going to look really silly. Dirt, 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 dirt. It's kind of a little dance. Yeah, 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 yeah. She kind of looks a little bit like she's shrinking as we go along here. Yay, 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 yay. Alright, so let's see. So now I gotta do tweens. Hey, corn-fed. What did you call yourself? It was like, you are corn dead pig, spooker of swine or something. As is often the case in October, people have started putting up their spooky profile pictures, including myself. I put up my headless chicken profile picture. And Cornfed put up theirs earlier today, and it was funny. I liked it. All right. I hate doing tweens. I hate doing tweens. I hate doing tweens. They're very challenging. It's so fun and ridiculously addicting. It's one of those games that hits your dopamine. Corn Dead, Reaper of Piggy Souls. Yes, hits your dopamine buttons just right. Oh, well, there you go. I have a friend who is a big fan of roguelike games. And, like, I'll be honest, I have trouble understanding the appeal of roguelike. He's tried to explain it to me before, but, like, whenever I think about it, I'm just like, so it's like an old Nintendo game where there are no passwords, or no passwords or saves, you just have to start from the beginning every time. And I feel like I'm missing something about it, but that's been my interpretation of what a roguelike is. I really don't know if that's accurate. But I do know that they're very popular right now. Right, hang on. Why is it? Okay. Most roguelikes let you unlock more items in the item pool as you progress in the game. Yeah, I mean, I know kind of the general idea that it's like a large part of the fun is supposed to come from, like, properly using these random power-ups you get, and, like, a lot of it comes down to decisions and builds, and, like, oh, the randomizer is telling me I should build this way this run, this way this one. And, like, I kind of understand the interest in, like, what they call a roguelite, where it's like a you know, there's some, like, you get to keep things. I can get that a little bit more. Let's see. But I don't know, otherwise it just kind of seems like, yeah, you just start from the beginning each time. Rip, 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 rip. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she gets smaller. She's getting she gets shorter as I go along. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like how that looks. Let me see if I can correct that a little bit. All right, that's 1. That's 6. Okay, so let's make this a little bit bigger here. Okay, that feels a little bit closer. One of my biggest challenges as regards animation is keeping things the same size. I have a lot of trouble keeping proportions right. Brr, 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 brr. Okay. Back to tweening. If you don't know, tweening is a term, an animation term that refers to in between frames. So it's sort of like the things in between keyframes. So you make like sort of the traditional way you do it is you make the keyframes, which represent sort of the points where you want specific end points of a movement to be. So in this instance, my keyframes were 1, which is the basic, 2, which is the most like dropped position, 3, which is the far right arm extension, 4, drop down again, 5, left arm extension, 6, drop down, and then back to 1. And then this is a tween because it's like halfway between these two. This is a tween because it's on the way to this one, that kind of thing. And they can be sort of challenging, honestly, because they can be challenging if you don't have a good knack for keeping things the same size, which is my major problem with them. But I'm no expert on animation. As I said just a minute ago, most of my experience is sort of self-taught. So. That's how it works sometimes, though. I was talking with the other animators on the collab channel the other night. We were playing Jackbox games together, which was fun. Good time. And we were talking about like our old animations, and I guess it's a thing that like a lot of them started off animating in this this thing on like DSiWare called oh, what was it called? All I can think of is Snapchat. It's not Snapchat. Oh, now I can't remember. Well, anyway, it was this online thing you could do in on the Nintendo DSi, where you could make like little short animations, and they were showing some of them off, and I kind of felt bad because like I don't think it was PictoChat. Maybe it was PictoChat. I feel like that's not the name I'm thinking of, but I remember PictoChat, or I remember when PictoChat was around, but I didn't use it, but I do remember when it was around. But I can't remember what it was. This thing we were talking about. Anyway, the short of it was they all kind of had like, they were like, oh, this was how I used to animate back at that time, and I was like, oh, I don't really have any of that, but I do still have some of like my old animations from when I first started out. Because like I started off animating on like actual paper with like a light box, and I just like scanned things in, and yeah, it's not great. And even back then, I still was not able to keep things the same size. I don't know, I find it very difficult. I find it very difficult to draw like the same thing twice, which is a major part of like animating, is this idea of being able to like draw the same thing. But I don't know, it's hard for me. Full punch extension. I love this song. It's completely inappropriate to the game, I think. This is one of the songs from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This is specifically it's the one for like the battle arena. And I guess they were going for like a kind of like, oh, you're gambling your life away kind of vibe. But it just feels very silly, I think. Like it's like smooth, like random smooth jazz or whatever. It just seems very odd. It's an odd decision, I think, to make this the you know, the bloody, and like in the game, like there's like blood everywhere. It's like it's really violent, but you get this like sick jazz music. It's like do 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 do. It's like, oh yeah. I don't know, very silly to me, but a very memorable song nonetheless. Symphony of the Night just, I mean, it's not hard to come up with ways to describe Symphony of the Night positively as a very, very well received game. And it still holds up very well as well. But the music is definitely one of the better parts of it, I would say. Oh, is this entertaining to anybody? I don't know. I hope so. I just like, you know, it's like I was sitting down to stream and I was like, I don't really want to do like voices tonight. I don't even really feel like playing a game. I was just like, I just want to like hang out, I guess. So that's what we're doing. Super thrilling, I know, but sometimes that's all I need. Sometimes I just kind of want to hang out. Is this the intense version? Hang on. I think it is. I think this is the one that has singing for some reason. This is the opening to Chrono Cross, if you're not familiar. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's a cute little dance. Dance, dance. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Hot Dog. I appreciate it. Again, I know this probably isn't everyone's favorite stream, but I thought maybe somebody would be interested to see me doing a little animation. I also agree that it's fun to like. No, not that. Yeah, this is the one that's like weirdly intense. Dance, 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 dance. Alright, so now we got the basics, so now we gotta start building making it look a little bit more sophisticated. Chill and education. Well, y'all are sweet. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. It's a bit darker. Actually, wait, I think I can do this, right? Can I just make the whole thing? Yeah, here we go, that'll help. Did I tell you y'all about the waifu party game? This is something I played the other day. It was it's a game called Astral Party. And honestly, as the game goes, I really can't recommend it too much. I think it's kind of it's a game that it's a gacha game, and you know, like most gacha games, they have it set up so that ostensibly you could play for free, you know, but it's like the goals are so slowly realized that it's not worth it, and like they kind of want you to like pay money. And its whole shtick is it's supposed to be like a Mario Party thing. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you. Let's see, where is it? It's on Steam. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a board game, but in practice it's just a really boring game, and the only real appeal of it is the art, which is very obviously Moe. So this is Astral Party, and like, do I do any pictures? You can look at pictures, can't you? Store page. Yeah, okay, this will work. So it's like a board game. You like roll dice and move around and stuff, and it's got all these like cutesy anime girls, but it's just really boring. It's like a super duper boring game. But the art's nice, is the thing. It's like the art is really nice in the game. How do I need to close Steam, because Steam will absorb all of my resources if I don't close it. If I don't close Steam, it's going to be like, oh hey, free resources, guess I'll take all of them. I'm gonna put her in her hoodie. I have this like hoodie design that I used to draw Maria in a lot. Oh, it's the Hanyuda song! Yay! I know I'm talking about the music. I'm bouncing all over the place, as I often do when I'm not focused, or when I don't have a game to focus my attention. So this song is from World of Final Fantasy, which is a great game, by the way. If you like games like Dragon Quest Monsters or something, I really, especially if you like Final Fantasy as well, I really recommend that game. It's super good. It's like full of references, and it's like cute and charming. Oh, it's just got so much going for it. But this song that we're hearing right now is the sort of like homeworld song, I guess you could say. It's just like, it's so chill and cool, and it has this like ahanyoda, ahanyoda, ahanyoda. I don't know if they're saying words or if they're just making noise. But like, I really like it. I really like this song, and like I would always get excited whenever I got to go back to the home base, because I'm like, yeah, I get to hear the ahanyoda song some more. Oh wait, I forgot something. I forgot a little her side curl. Oop, there it is. Yeah, the Ahanyuda song. That's a game that I would also love to play on stream sometime, but the thing is that, like, I'm realizing this. I've been watching a lot of my old streams again. Like back when I played like Final Fantasy V, or I played I was watching Zelda Parallel Worlds earlier today, which admittedly is oh shoot, hang on, I did that wrong. This all needs to go down a little bit. Yeah, like those streams went on forever because I only ever stream 2 hours at a time. And so like RPGs are hard. And like right now we're on like what, episode 10, 11 of Legacy of the Rudra. It's like there are these games that I want to share with y'all because, you know, I like RPGs. Like that's one of my favorite game genres. And so I want to play RPGs. Let's see, no, that's not right. Because those are the kind of games that I enjoy and I want to share those, but they also take forever. And so I'm like, dude, do I want to play more RPGs? But there's so many good RPGs that I want to play for y'all. I don't know. It's such a difficult thing. Is like, I mean, I run into the same sort of problem on my regular channel where like sometimes you don't, not everybody wants like a 30-something episode series. Sometimes people just want like, like a little 4-episode fun time. And I don't know. It's just a balance, I guess, but hopefully y'all are okay with the long series and the short series. I've actually been wanting to play Driver again recently, to be honest. I can't remember where it came. This is another good song. Oh, Dominique's theme is so good. Booby Nun. She's such a lovely song. Did I finish the thought about Astral Party? I don't know if I did or not. The short of it was I was trying to imitate the style in Astral Party, which I think is really nice. I honestly really like the style in Astral Party. Do I have a picture of it? Do I have a picture I was working on? Is this is the background. Okay, let me just open it up over here. Open. So my friend Robo, who unfortunately streams at exactly the same time I do, he's streaming right now. He has a character named Helen. Let's see, let me get a picture. I'll show you a picture of Helen. Sorry, I'm wrestling with different things. Very defocused tonight, but again, what are you gonna do? Where is it? Some other people. Helen, there she is. Okay. This is the original art of Helen, as she came from like one of his friends helped him design this character, Helen, and she's a super advanced android, and she's very cheerful and happy, and she's a fun character. And so I've been trying to. I like to draw her as well, and I've done a couple of different things, but I've had a lot of success with these like little cute Helen pictures. Like this is one that I did for he was doing Pokemon Yellow, and so I drew her as, sounds weird to say, I drew her as Red from Pokemon Yellow. And she's got this little like hair thing I can play around with because I can like make it colored with in some way that represents what's going on. Anyway, my latest effort was to try to draw her as like in a super cutesy version, like a super moe version, in the style of the Astral Party stuff. But what frustrated me was that it still kind of looks very much like I drew it, which, I mean, I did, so fair enough. But I really wanted it to come across looking like something from the game. I don't know. We might work on that later. I do still want to color it. Anyway. Back animation. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy the Helen character. I think she's kind of a fun character. She's sort of easy to draw. She's very similar to like stuff I already do, so it's cool. Actually, a little shout out for Robo's stuff. If you are at all interested in the that little I'm trying to say, that little like stamp, that little Helen as, what's going on here? Where'd my color go? There we go. Helen as Red from Pokemon. Robo actually took that picture and made stamps out of it, so you can like actually buy a stamped version of that picture of Helen, and a couple of other ones too. So I would recommend going to check out his Supernova page. You can find it by just searching for him on Twitter or on Twitch, and then he's got a link in his bio kind of thing. And you can buy them, and they're pretty nice. He was kind enough to give me a set after he made them. He's like, I'm just gonna gift you these. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I think maybe seeing that was kind of why I was like, I should make more merch for myself. I'm making merch for other people, but I don't make any merch for myself. This is probably backwards. I should make my own merch first. What's going on here? And Chrono Cross. There's another Chrono Cross song. Y'all, anyone out there played Chrono Cross before? Like, I think I've mentioned it before, but like Chrono Cross is a great tragedy to me as far as games go. Because like it had a lot going for it, I think. It's a game that had a whole lot of like promise. Like I remember years and years ago, I was sitting in my friend up the street's house, and one of our mutual friends, a guy named Bailey, came over, and he said, "Guys, look at this! I got this today," and it was like a clock, and it just had the Chrono Cross logo on it. It was just a clock, it was just like a desk clock, but it had the Chrono Cross logo on it, and I remember seeing it and just being like, I know this, but it's also new. You know, it's like, I know the chrono part of this. What is cross? And it was just so, yeah, I just remember vividly this feeling that it was like, it's another Chrono Trigger. Because I was obsessed with Chrono Trigger as a child. I still think it's a fantastic game. But I haven't actually played it in years. I really should play it again. But just seeing that logo was so exciting. And like, as a game, it has a lot going for it too. It's got beautiful artwork. Like the environments are absolutely gorgeous. They're vibrant, they're lush, they're interesting. There's a lot of diversity to them. The music is really, really good. Like the soundtrack to Chrono Cross is excellent. So many good songs on there. And it just, they're just like a couple of things. Not even just a couple of things. There were a bunch of little things, would be the best way to describe it. A couple of big things, but mostly just little things that all kind of eat away at it until you're left with a game that's like, I can't recommend it, really. Especially if you liked Chrono Trigger. Like, it's weird to say, but if you liked the first game in the series, don't play Chrono Cross. Like, one of its faults, in my opinion, is the fact that it didn't know how to interact with its predecessor. I shouldn't talk about this. I don't want to go on a tirade about Chrono Cross. That's not good. That's not fun for anybody. I want to like it though. Yeah. Chrono Trigger is and I've talked about this before. It's a funny kind of game in that it's one of those things where like you almost never hear. Oh, hey, Cyber. I like my looking it up. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I will admit, I get a little embarrassed every time I use that because I made Maria's butt look huge in that picture. If you're not familiar, I'll go ahead and share. I have this like card that I use sometimes in videos whenever I have to go look up something in a video. I'll show you. There it is. Yeah, looking it up. So it's just me. It's me and Maria, and we're looking something up on the computer. But look at how weird her butt is. Look at how weird I did her butt. It doesn't look good at all. Oh, every time I use it, I'm like, maybe I should look at her hand. What is going on here? Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. I made this this was probably made in like the first year that I started streaming. Like started making videos. A lot of my long-running images were made back like when I first started, and so I've gotten better over the years at drawing, I think, than I was 7 years ago. But yeah, I don't know. That badonkadonk don't look right. Sorry, Maria. I apologize. I did you dirty. But I'm glad you like it. It's important to look things up sometimes. Also, welcome, Cyber. Good to see you. This is a very unfocused stream where I'm just working kind of casually on an animation. Because I was completely ill-prepared for this. I've been working on my... I told y'all that I'm going to a Renaissance fair week after next, right? I think I mentioned that. My sister, who lives up in Massachusetts... No, not that. Not that. She said, you know, do you want to come to the Renaissance fair up near us? You could go with, you know, with me and my sons, and it would be fun. And I was like, yeah, sure. But I still wanted to go to the one that I had been preparing for all year, that I go to every year with my friend who was in Baltimore. And that's the Maryland Renaissance Fair. Did I do that right? And then she goes. Okay, yeah. And what I realized is that like it's not cold enough yet for the one that I've been working on for a while. It's still kind of too warm, and I'm having trouble seeing this. It's too warm for the costume I made. Like the costume is, the material's too thick, and it's like too much clothing. And so I've been scrambling to like put together an alternate kind of a Ren Fair costume, and it's coming along pretty well. What I decided to go for, like my basic costume is I think of it as like, and I think I've talked about this before, so I'm sorry if I'm being like, you know, Alzheimer's here and forgetting what I've talked about. But it's kind of rude to people that actually have Alzheimer's. Apologies. The costume that I'm doing for the regular Renaissance Fair is like a sort of adventurer wizard, might be the best way to describe it. Sort of like, imagine someone who's like, they're like a mage, but they also like go out and adventure, and so they're wearing like armor too. So it's like I've got like an armor chest, like a chest plate and like leather armor and stuff, but I'm also wearing like, you know, I have like a magic rod, and I've got like a cool hat and like all these other things, but it's a lot of clothes, and so it's very warm. Battle mage, that's a pretty good way to put it. So where did her hair go? So for this one that's coming up soon, I decided what I would do is go for kind of a more of a standard like warrior adventurer, and I'm just making some kind of like simple leather armor, and I made some greaves for my legs, and ew, that's weird looking. And I made some what do you call it? I have like a breastplate, and I was earlier today. I was working on kind of like a leather arm thing. It's not a gauntlet. You wouldn't call it a gauntlet, but it's like a thing you wear on your arm. It's not a bracer either because it covers the hand. So it's kind of like a weird. It is sort of like a weird leather gauntlet, I guess would be the best way to describe it. But it's coming on pretty well. Oh, she shrank. That's no good. Her head got too small. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Oh, not that polyline. But it's fun. I don't know. I like doing costuming. It's a good time. I also went the other day to a fabric store and found myself some costume patterns for like a tailcoat and tailcoat and like some little culottes to play around with. Not necessarily because I want to make the culottes, but because I wanted to learn how to make like pants. Because I have this idea for, well, I'll show you. Again, I've got pictures. Where is she? Been making. There she is. Okay, so this is the Maria costume, but it's these pants. So she's got like, they're kind of like little you know, they go just below the knee, but they've got this like divide in the middle. You know, it's like you've probably seen it before with like on like Three Musketeers style sleeves where they've got that big like poofy thing on the sleeve that's got like the kind of inner sections. It's that, but for pants. It's that, but for pants is what I'm trying to accomplish here. So this might be something I make in the future, but we'll see. Not Maria, but you know, for me, chicken sized. All right, let's see here. She gets shorter. I don't like that she gets shorter. She's getting shorter. She shouldn't be getting shorter. She's stretching up in that direction. It might take some reworking, but it's fine. Again, guess the problem is? I'm losing track of proportions. I have so much difficulty with that. It's very hard for me. And I think a large part of it comes from the fact that I wasn't really like sort of classically trained as far as art goes, you know? No. Much everything I know about art I learned by doing. I've taken a few art classes, but not too terribly many. Mostly it's just a whole lot of doing it. She's so cute. I was looking at some like chibis that I've done in the past the other day, and thinking about how like my sort of like chibi art style has changed over the years. You know, I used to draw a lot more like detail on the characters. And now I kind of have this like, what would you call it? Not rubric, but pattern that I usually go for with characters that makes them all kind of look very similar, I guess you could say. I hate that this is what popped into my head, but I sort of like have like a Funko Pop thing where like they have kind of a general shape to them, and then I just sort of change the little details. Ugh, I'm really unhappy that the first thing I thought of was Funko Pops. I hate Funko Pops. Do y'all like Funko Pops? I don't like them at all. I was looking at, someone was sharing a picture of like this, a Garfield Nendoroid. Which, if you're not familiar, Nendoroids are kind of like, I mean, it's that same idea of like the vinyl toy. But the big difference with Nendoroids is that they have a lot of like elements about them that are very like, what's the term I'm trying to think? They're nuanced, might be a good way to put it. In a way that like Funkos aren't. And another one that has the same problem that Funko has is Q Posket. I first saw Q Posket from I think it's very common for comic artists. Yeah, probably. By the way, are y'all getting a lot of like double sound from my microphone picking up the computer audio? Because I don't want that if that's happening. I want to avoid that if possible. Like I can see the mic output bouncing, and I don't really want that. Audio's fine? Great, good to hear. Sometimes I worry that y'all just tell me the audio's fine is kind of like a little therapy thing, because I'm always concerned about the audio. It's like, is the audio okay? The audio's bad, isn't it? It's me, it's because the audio's bad, isn't it? Is that good? Good. Yay! Over here, it kind of swings over. Okay. This is a cute little picture here. Like her little happy face here. It looks like the cat that got the cream there. It's like, yay! Really cute. I'm very happy with that. Also, I should put her pockets onto her hoodie. In reality, your ears are bleeding. Okay, well, I mean, as long as it's having an effect, that's the best we can hope for. I want to make sure you take something away from my streams. And if that's severe damage to your ear canal, I think I can say I've succeeded. I've succeeded in giving you an unforgettable experience. You will never hear anything else again. Oh, that image is cute enough to make my eyes bleed. Oh. Kick. Hey! Alright, I'm gonna duplicate that. I brought some. Yeah! You used to do those piano streams, Cyber. Have you done any more recently? I feel like I haven't seen you go live in a while. For those who don't know, Cyber is an accomplished pianist and produces some excellent, I don't want to call it haunting, because that makes it sound bad, but like you do these cool, like, I don't even know the term for them. You gave up the streaming, you're cursed. Well, it was like these, what is the chord decompositions? What's that term for where you like have a chord and you just kind of like doom 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 doom, that kind of thing? I like that kind of stuff. I think it's cool, but I don't really know how to write it myself, so. Haunting is fine. A lot of arpeggios. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Let's see how we're doing. Yay. Yay. Is her head too big now? I hate trying to keep the proportions right. It's so hard for me. Ugh, it's so hard for me to keep the proportions right. Whatever. I guess it's fine. But yeah, if you got an idea of a way that we could collaborate on music, I'd be fine with that. I'd love to have someone who actually knows what they're doing help me with music. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, Mio. This song is from the terribly named You Know, the video game. You know the one. It's a stupid name for a game. It probably makes more sense in Japanese because, like, the phrase you know doesn't exist in Japanese. You know, it's like an English phrase, but, like, if you're trying to talk about this game with someone else, it's so hard to describe you know. It's like, I'm playing that game, you know. No, I don't. What game are you playing? It's like a freaking who's on first bit, but it's a video game. Anyway. I did like a brief stream of this one where it's like it's like the visual novel where it's got kind of like it's a bit ecchi, frankly, but it had that cool like time travel mechanic which I really enjoyed. It's definitely a game where like I want to recommend it to people, but because it has like all of this like, you know, saucy aspects to it, I'm like, I really can't. People will think of me differently if I recommend this game to them, won't they? It's like, but it's got the time travel is so cool. It's like I really like the time travel part though. Wait, where's her hair in this picture? Hang on. Where does her hair go? Oh, okay, it just kind of flops over. Got it. But yeah, it's a cool game. I really like the time travel mechanic. But again, it's got a lot of ecchi stuff about it, so it's kind of hard to recommend. It's very annoying to me. I do want to recommend it, but you know. Oh, well, what are you gonna do? If you're okay with some ecchi stuff, I recommend it. Plus, I mean, if you play the remade version, it's a lot less ecchi, or it's a lot less direct than the original was. The original PC-98 one was technically a porn game, so it's very direct in all of its suggestiveness. But the remade version is on the Switch, so it's got several things sort of toned down a bit. But man, that time travel is so cool. It's such a cool mechanic. I wouldn't be surprised if it's because of Chrono Trigger that I like time travel in games. You know? Chrono Trigger made time travel cool. No, not that. I mean, I think, now I'm just thinking about Chrono Trigger. I think one of the things that made Chrono Trigger work, especially for me at the time when I first played it, was how, like, positive it was about a lot of things. It's not it's also not a terribly hard game. It's one of those games that's like, it's pretty well balanced, and so as long as you, like, you know, do the fights you get into, you're not gonna have a situation where you're, like, ill-prepared for a fight or anything. You know, you're pretty much gonna be on level as long as you just don't run away. Like, I would say that I almost never run away in that game because I just don't think it's worth it. Like, the battles are fun and there aren't too many of them, so why bother? Like, why bother running away when you don't really need to? And it's like positive, you know, like you play it and you just feel better. And I think I would say that part of that comes down to Ted Woolsey's translation, which I've talked about this before. I know some people don't really like Woolsey's translation efforts on the Super Nintendo games, or a lot of the Super Nintendo Squaresoft games, but like, I think it's fine. Like, they're video games, and he added in things that are fun. Now you can go too far. I can actually get why some people would say that like the Working Designs translations maybe went a little bit too far with their pop culture references. Yeah, that's fair. A lot of them read like they're so dated nowadays. If you're not familiar, there's a company called Working Designs that they translated a bunch of like things that would have otherwise been like Japanese exclusives in the particularly in the PlayStation era. I mean, they were around before that, but that's mostly what I think of them. Yay, yay, yay. She just keeps changing size. I'm so bad about that. Whatever. That's what practice is for. It's part of the reason I'm doing this. Let's see. Where is this? Dude. Okay. But yeah, one of the things about Working Designs that they like to do, they had sort of two hallmarks of their translations. One is that they loved making the games harder, like a lot harder. And the other thing they loved to do was insert a lot of pop culture references for the time, as for the NPC dialogue. Like, they would take NPC dialogue that was kind of like relatively ordinary and just like throw in pop culture references, which were super funny at the time, sure, but now read very dated. Like, I remember there's like an Austin Powers reference in Lunar, and it's like, this feels very out of place here. So I mean, there's an art to properly using throwaway jokes in a game, I think. Yay! Okay, this hand is too big. This hand is way too big. Honestly, for me, the bigger problem with Working Designs is the extra difficulty, because sometimes it was like stupid what they did. Like, some of the changes they made were just ridiculous. One that comes to mind is in the game They, for the is it Sega CD or Sega Saturn? I think it was Sega Saturn. I have it, but I don't know which system it was for. It was just kind of like a whatever RPG originally, and Working Designs took hold of it. And I remember when I was playing it, I was like, man, this game is really tough in terms of like managing your health. Like, everything does so much damage and you don't have enough MP for anything. And I looked it up later. The reason for that is that like Working Designs apparently increased the MP cost of everything like 50 to 60% or something. Hang on, let me see if I can bring it up. There was a very like a unexpectedly angry article about it on the cutting room floor. Let's see if I can find it today. Is this the one where they talk about it? Or was it a different one? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Where's the MP though? Okay, well, I'll just show you. Okay, so yeah, like, this is where they're talking about things that were changed for the regional differences. And like for the item stats, situations where a stat was changed to make the game harder was marked in red. Instances where the stat changed detrimentally by more than 5 points and constituted a change of 50% or greater, the original amount is in magenta. Look at how much red there is. Look at that. Well, now it's green, but it's bad. It's a problem. And like the MP, where is it? Yeah, MP costs. Where's the heal spell? Yeah, okay, here we go. This is a good one. So the Balm spell. It's the basic level healing spell. The original Japanese MP cost for it was 2. The American one is 10. That's a change of 500% at the beginning of the game. Look at some of these. 1000% change. It's just, it's so ridiculous. And it effectively, what it does is it makes magic pointless, sort of. I don't know. And they did it in a lot of situations. Like, this is a pretty common thing with a lot of the Working Designs games. And I'm not trying to bash on Working Designs too much, because I like Lunar. I like Lunar, like Lunar 2. I was okay with Vey outside of the MP cost thing. Like, I appreciate the fact that they brought over games that we probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise. But they brought them over in this way that makes them just so hard. The only reason I can think of that they wanted to make them harder was to combat that common perception, which was pretty common at that time, which was like the late 90s. Maybe Magic is just generally more expensive in US. Yeah, we have to get it imported from Japan, so there's a lot of like inflation. There's a lot of like customs costs, so it's harder to get Magic in America than in some other places. Yeah, maybe the only thing I can assume is that there was this common thought at the time that the American versions were always dumbed down and made easier. So maybe they were trying to say, like, oh, if you want to play this RPG, you better be prepared. It's going to be hard. Which is just dumb, because it just results in a situation where people think, oh, these games are terrible. I don't want to play an RPG. They're awful. I don't know. I can't say why on earth they would have made it that much harder, but they did. But anyway, yeah, I remember playing Vey, and I just didn't use Magic. I would grind for money, and I would get a bunch of money together, and then just spend it all on like herbs. And I would have, like, instead of my mage healing me, their job was just to use herbs every round. That was the only way I could think of to get past like the first boss. Trying to get past the first boss in the game, I was just like, well, I just gotta have one person on permanent salad duty, and it's gonna be their job to just shovel salad into the fighter's mouth every round, and I'd still only barely beat the first boss. And it's just a shame, because it's like, it's almost doing the opposite of the intended purpose of introducing, RPGs that we wouldn't have played otherwise. It's like, oh, well, we didn't want to play this because it was terrible. Dream job, feeding fighters salad. Yeah. I don't know. Again, I don't know what the rationale was, really. I don't know why this decision was made to make all these games so much harder, but that's how it turned out. This is another song that I really like. It's also from Chrono Cross. Originally from Radical Dreamers, but also from Chrono Cross. Man, they had some good music in that game. Why'd they have to screw it up with some of the other decisions? It's just a shame. A real tragedy. And if you like it, you like it. That's fine. Doing decent now. You turn an AC installed. Oh no. Were you going without an AC, Jimmy? Sorry to hear that, bud. You've always wanted more RPGs in the West. It's made him regret. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, thanks to Final Fantasy VII, I think FF7 I think did a huge service for RPGs in the United States, in that because they marketed it as a movie and they showed off kind of like the fanciest, like highest tech parts of it, it made a lot of people who wouldn't have tried it try it, and I think that opened the door for a lot of RPGs. So like when some of these games I'm talking about were coming out, you know, people were trying to pick up RPGs for the first time, and yeah, these decisions didn't improve matters very much. But again, I don't know. I am glad that you got your AC installed though, Jimmy, because as someone who lived with an improperly functioning AC for most of the time he has lived in his current apartment, I know the frustration of not having a functional AC. It's awful. It's really frustrating. So I'm glad I got it worked out, bud. Very important. Importante. Oh, this is another good one. This is a good little stream soundtrack I put together here. This is the same one I've been using each time we do like anything that's, you know, not a game. But it's got like a lot of my favorites on here. This is from Castlevania 64, which actually, if you didn't know, is just called Castlevania. That its actual name is just Castlevania, but we call it Castlevania 64 because to sort of deconflict with the original Castlevania, and I think also because a lot of people don't like it, and so they're kind of snarky about it, and they're like, oh, it's Castlevania 64. They didn't know what they were doing. But this song is so good. I have reached the Violet Wings part of Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, have you been making many interesting flying machines? Have you managed to get a top score on the rocket belt yet? I'm not sure which of the two open world Zeldas I like more now. When I first finished Tears of the Kingdom, I was saying that I liked you know, Rings, channeling your inner goose. Yeehaw! Goose so cool. So American. Yeah, like when I first beat Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, you know, this was good, but I still think I liked Breath of the Wild more. And I remember one person mentioning the idea that like Breath of the Wild felt incomplete to them, and that Tears of the Kingdom felt like the finished version of Breath of the Wild. Like Breath of the Wild was like a tech demo for Tears of the Kingdom. And I get it. It has a much more solid plot. I think my problem is that it has the same thing going on that like Majora's Mask has, where people are like, oh, it's like with Majora's Mask, I feel like people want to have it both ways. If you they'll present, and as a straw man argument, so I apologize, but they will present Majora's Mask as like being this really interesting and exciting and super cool game that's like, oh, it's dark and it's controversial, it's very inventive and blah blah blah. And then you say that, yeah, but they used all the assets from Ocarina of Time. They're like, yeah, but it was only, you know, you got to forgive it because it only took 1 year. And it's like, you were just saying how it's this masterpiece, and then you're like, yeah, it was cobbled together, but we did it in like 5 minutes. That's kind of how I felt a little bit with Tears of the Kingdom. It's like, yeah, but like 90% of it came from another game. Like I remember thinking of it as like a ROM hack at the time, which is kind of how I think of Majora's Mask as well. It's like a ROM hack of Ocarina of Time Tears of the Kingdom felt like a ROM hack of Breath of the Wild at first. I think also I didn't really like the combination thing being the main way of making weapons, because it always felt like the weapons were really ugly, you know? Yay, yay. She gets smaller again! Doggone it, look at her shrinking! Ugh. Y'all, I'm so bad at animation. Look at her shrinking! I gotta watch some videos on talking about how to maintain proportions. I mean, it's cute animation, but she shrinks. Why does she shrink? Do I want to finish it? It's like now I'm so frustrated that she shrinks that I don't know that I want to finish it. I guess I could change the size of things after the fact. That might work. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. I've come to appreciate some of the like the plot elements more. Like, I think the biggest thing for me about Tears of the Kingdom that made it good was Ganon. I think having Ganon in the game as an actual character rather than just this like concept, which is sort of what Calamity Ganon was. He was just sort of like this. He was just like a concept. It was like fighting a cloud or something. You know, it just didn't really feel like. It didn't feel like a character. It was just like, oh yeah, I have to go kill that cloud over there because it's bad. It's a bad cloud. As compared to like Ganon from Tears of the Kingdom, where he's like this really interesting character and he's very clearly sinister. Like, they did a great job of building him up as like a menacing thing, and oh, he's so dang cool in Tears of the Kingdom. So I really liked Ganon in Tears of the Kingdom. I think that was the biggest improvement they made for that one. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I didn't like if they had made it so that you could choose to combine weapons, or you could find good weapons, you know, like either or. Like, you could, if you were really excited about the combination thing, you could build super cool weapons, or you could just find decent weapons as well. That'd be one thing, but it's really not the case. Like, you might find a few rare weapons that aren't corroded down in like the underground or something, but for the most part you're going to be dealing with like, I stuck a stick to a rock, it's a rock stick, fear my wrath, you know, which just doesn't, like, I remember feeling, it's like, I don't feel like I'm a hero right now. I don't feel like I'm the hero saving the day. I feel like I'm a caveman, you know. And it's like the Legend of Zelda, the Flintstones version, you know. It just didn't feel epic at all, I guess, to use a youth of today word. I don't even know if that's still a youth of today word, but yeah, I think that was probably my biggest complaint, was the combination thing. I think also the way you approached puzzles, thanks to the combination thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually why some people liked the game, was that they were like, oh yeah, I love being able to do these like weird solutions where I you know, I'm able to, hang on, that's not right, go back, okay. It's like, oh, I love the fact that I can completely circumvent the puzzles and like cheat my way to the top. Like, I remember seeing this I guess you'd call it a meme. It was like a GIF of it was like a One Piece thing, and it was like, I think it was Luffy and like Chopper and Frankie, I think of their names. That's like the little deer guy. I think it's Chopper, and Luffy's the meat boy, and Frankie's like the huge bulky guy. And he had like a collection of like planks, and they were like just building a staircase by like, they build a stair, then they step on the stair, then they build the next stair, and they were like going up a mountain by just building a staircase in the air. And it was something like me and Tears of the Kingdom or something, you know, there's some caption to it. And I think what bothers me is that, like, I value well-made game puzzles, you know? Like, there's some games out there that have really extremely well-made gaming puzzles, like Lufia 2 or the Wild Arms series. And so it kind of frustrates me, and I feel like it would frustrate me as a game designer to have people just be like, yeah, but did you know if you just lay a bomb here, you can completely skip the puzzle and not have to bother with it all? And I'm just like, okay, I spent like a week on that, but thanks for just ignoring it. Like, that would frustrate me. And maybe it's like a sympathy thing, but I think about those kinds of puzzle circumventions, and I'm like, I feel bad. I don't know. That's probably kind of stupid, though. I'm sure the idea of being able to find ways to get around it is more valuable from a game design perspective, but whatever. So, Tears of the Kingdom definitely wins for goofing. If you just want to play a game and goof, Tears of the Kingdom's great. But I don't know. I like Breath of the Wild's puzzle design better. Or maybe puzzle limitations would be a better way to put it. And that's a large part of why I think of it more of a ROM hack, is because it feels looser in the sense of like you can get away with more. That feels like what you'd expect from a ROM hack, where they're like, they expect you to use non-conventional solutions to figure things out. Boy, do I ever goof. Yeah, I mean, goofing's fun. It's a fun game to goof around in. You can do some really dumb things, and it's fun. But when you realize that that is also the game, it kind of starts to feel like Goat Simulator a little bit, you know? It's like, oh, so I'm saving the world by fiddling with physics. Okay. But, you know, a lot of people liked it, and I get why, so it's cool. If you like it, you like it, and that's great for you. But I don't want my weapons to rust, and I don't want to hit things with a rock attached to a stick. Thank you. I am Lonic, great hero of Hyrule. Give me a freaking sword, please. If there's one thing I absolutely liked about both games, though, it's how much Nintendo leaned into the idea of giving Link more costumes. Because I am such a lover of like changing costumes in video games. I love doing that kind of stuff. That's so much fun for me. So I love the fact that like he's got so many costume changes. I like that. That I'm cool with. And they gave him even more for they gave him like the retro ones for Tears of the Kingdom. So super great that. I like that part. I also kind of like the Underground, although I think the reason I liked the Underground is because it was a great way to waste time. You found the stupidest helmet, but it's a big armor boost. Yeah. Like the Underground, I have this kind of bad habit, I would say, of I have started to like games that allow me to kind of like, waste time, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Games where I can like put on like a, like a stream series or something, or like a YouTube series on my iPad next to me on the couch, and I could just sit for hours and just grind away on something. And in the Underground's case, it was just like grinding more visibility. Just go down there and be like, I'll just keep wandering around and waste my evening doing this. The Underground's great for that. But I really would say that they didn't really figure out how to make it interesting. Like, the reason it works well for that is that it's boring, I think. I'm kind of ragging on Tears of the Kingdom a lot. Again, it's a fine game. There's nothing wrong with it. Or there's nothing wrong with liking it. I just have complaints because I'm a grumpy Gus. I don't know. What is the stupid-looking armor called? Which one is it? You had a fair number of stupid-looking armors in that game. I wonder if they're ever going to make another, Oh, the Midna helmet. Yeah, it's stupid looking, but I actually like that one. I think because, like, a lot of the bonus, I think that was probably the first, like, bonus thing I found where I could tell it's like, this is a reference to another Legend of Zelda game. And I was like, oh my gosh, is that something I'm going to be able to find? I'm going to be able to find references to other Zelda games? That's cool. And so when I first found it, I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. I'm going to wear this around. And yeah, it's stupid looking. But, I mean, the fused shadow was always kind of a weird looking thing anyway, so. I've never played that game. Twilight Princess? Toilet Princess? I've seen people play it before, but I don't know. It's so orange. It's such an orange game. That's a dumb complaint, I know. But everything in that game looks very, like, brown and orange and kind of muddy and not appealing. It reminds me of a complaint that a friend of mine had about Toilet Princess. Yes, that's the correct name of that game, Toilet Princess. I think I got that from Game Grumps. She's supposed to be stretching back out, isn't she? Crap, what was I talking about? I immediately forgot when you said Toilet Princess. I don't remember. Man, tell you what, I have a brain like a sieve. Just drops things immediately. She looks so chubby right here. Give her a little cupcake. She's like, oh, cupcake, delicious. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Twilight Princess. I don't remember. Oh, that's what it was. I was gonna mention this thing. A friend of mine years ago made the argument that he didn't like Final Fantasy III for the Super Nintendo because he had gotten used to the idea that RPGs on the Super Nintendo were supposed to be very like vibrant and colorful, and that one used kind of more realistic color. All right, let's see how bad this is. mean, it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I like her hair movement a lot. This is why I need to practice, though. Just to figure out how to make myself not. Look how she shrinks. She shrinks as I go. Look at her shrink. Getting smaller. She looks like she's receding into the background, and then she pops back to normal size. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be using this one for the merch, but... I mean, it's still cute, I guess. Yay, 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 yay. Maybe I can fix it by resizing things. I'm trying to resize stuff. It froze the cupcake face. The cupcake face! Alright, let's see here. Alright, so that's how she's supposed to look. Thank you, Cyber. Appreciate that. Impressed I did this from scratch in 90 minutes. Well, thank you. I mean, it's only like, what is it, 17 frames, but thank you, appreciate it. I appreciate the massaging of my ego. Unrelated, this is another song that goes pretty hard. This is from, there was a, Mega Man X, like, tribute, CD that I found one time. And that's what this is from. It's like a smooth jazz Mega Man X tribute CD. And it's real good. Alright, let's see if this is any better. She still shrinks though. Look at her. You can see her. You can see her shrinking. Oh, no, no. Where's that happening? Let's see. Duh. Okay, that's what it is. She shrinks down. All right. How's this? Yay! No, she's still shrinking. It's kind of funny. It's funny when it's more obvious. Whoa. Alright, hang on. Let's see. Okay, so there's the punch. I like smooth jazz. I feel like when I was younger, I had heard this idea that smooth jazz was like terrible, and I didn't really know how to define it. But I remember there was this one song in SimCity 3000. A little bit better. Yay. She's not shrinking as obviously now, but she does look like she's moving around. Let's see. Yeah, there's this song in SimCity 3000 that I mean, for all intents and purposes, it was like a smooth jazz song. And I remember thinking, it's like, I really like this, but I don't know what I would call it. And then I found out that it was like a smooth jazz style song. And I was like, oh, okay, I really like this though. She definitely gets chubbier also over the course of this animation. Like, look at the beginning. She's so svelte, and then by the end, she's like, I eat cupcakes. Delicious cupcakes. So svelte. Cupcakes. That's okay. She loses all the weight by the end of it. She's moving around now. Ah, whatever. It's fine. I'll go ahead and save it. Y'all want to see a an unfinished animation that I was working on? I think it's in here. How far along did I get on this? Oh, I didn't get very far on this one. So let me get rid of the color.
It's Tarnation Tuesday.
Okay, here we go. Let me stop the music for a sec.
Hey there! Come into my old saloon!
It's Tarnation Tuesdays at the old saloon.
Come on in to Tarnation Tuesday. Come and get you a sarsaparilla.
Hang on. Get this out of here.
Hey there! Come into my old saloon!
It's Tarnation Tuesdays at the old saloon.
Come on in to Tarnation Tuesday. Come and get you a sarsaparilla. And something else.
I don't know what you get at the what do you get at the Western store? We got 10-gallon hats. I keep falling down here.
We got 10-gallon hats. We got guns. We got
What
a bunch
more
of
could you need?
we got a bunch of horse shit. Cause you know you gotta have a horse.
We got a bunch of horse shit.
That's what they'd say. Hey there.
That's it. It was supposed to be a short for the Tarnation Tuesday thing that Ian and Luke did a while back on Minecraft Mondays, but just to show how long ago I started on this. I started on this back when Minecraft Mondays was still going on, which was what, last year. And I just never finished it. I would like to finish it at some point, but all right, y'all. Well, this was a something or another of a stream, but I hope it was fun for y'all. I just kind of wanted to get something out there, and I was ill prepared, so that's what you get. But hopefully it was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me make a little animation. Yeah, horse fudge. Hopefully it was entertaining, but I will try to be more prepared next week or this weekend. I should also mention there's something I'm thinking of trying to do for October on the weekends. I've got to get it worked out, but I will let y'all know as soon as that is a possibility. But in the meantime, yep, peace, y'all. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by.